Hello everybody and welcome back to another What I Eat in a Day as a Fat Person reaction video. Please put your guesses of what you think we're going to see down in the comments below, and I'm going to guess a super sugary coffee with some kind of cookie or something in the middle of the day. And yeah, today we've got 3 clips from this lady here, so plus size gym bestie. And we've got 3 of her clips because I find her fascinating, and I think she's fascinating because she says all the right things but then doesn't follow through with anything. If we're just looking at the screenshot, she's clearly got some kind of McDonald's burger without the bun, so it's like, okay. But we're gonna see a few of her clips back to back, and we're just going to see how many excuses she comes up with in order to eat garbage but then tell herself that she's on track. So we're going to do that, and I think it'll be quite interesting because she tends to do that a lot. So let's just get into the video.
Everything I eat in a day, eating 2,200 calories as an active plus-size gym girl. For breakfast, I had 2 of these Super Zero vanilla yogurts, and I also had an entire pack of raspberries. When I was mixing the yogurt together, I kind of wanted like a little extra flavor, so I added a little bit of this Chips Ahoy Ghost protein. It was so good.
Okay, so that was a lot to start with. I don't know why she showed the McDonald's in the morning. Maybe she had that later in the day. But 2 yogurts is not awful. It is a lot of dairy, so if you're funny with dairy, then probably don't do this. It's not the worst choice in the world, and that she's got fruit as well. It's really good. She's added the protein powder. It's quite a lot of calories for protein powder, to be honest. And it tastes like dessert. So I'm not surprised that she picked this one, and there's nothing wrong with having flavoured protein powder, there's nothing wrong with it at all. But if you're starting with something like this in the morning, it could kind of like trigger you into eating it throughout the day as well. But yeah, it's not the worst choice in the world, but she would have been better off having some protein from a real protein source, like chicken or tofu or ham or something like that.
Kind of wanted like a little extra flavor, so I added a little bit of this Chips Ahoy Ghost protein. It was so good. Good morning, you guys. I just got to the gym. I'm having my Alani, the winter one, and they so graciously sent me 2 packages, and I will unbox them for you later today. I know I look like I've been crying, and I swear nothing is like wrong. I'm sure my time of the month I think is like next week, but everything that makes me happy is making me cry. Everything that makes me sad makes me cry, and like I'm also one of those people who, when they feel so grateful, that they just cry. I'm very empathetic, so I've just been like very emotional today, so I'm gonna go take my emotions out at the gym so I can move on with my day and stop feeling so emotional.
So we've got a few things to talk about here. So she's got an Alani, which is an energy drink. So she's either addicted to the caffeine or the chemicals that they put in the drink, one or the other. Either way, she doesn't need it. She's not going to be doing a super hard workout. She's probably going to be doing half an hour of cardio or some kind of class. I know she likes to call herself like a gym bestie and a gym girl, but she's not going to be doing super heavy weights and stuff. She doesn't need it. And they've sent her stuff as well, which is great for her because obviously it's like income and it's really good for her. Like genuinely, it's really good for her. I love that for her. I truly do. But she doesn't need to be sent junk food because she's going to consume it. And we've already had excuse number 1 of it's her time of the month, and then excuse number 2 of I'm feeling all my emotions. So let's see if her eating goes downhill and if she justifies poor choices later on in the day, because it's her time of the month next week. And if you're going to go by that standard of it's my time of the month next week, therefore I can eat like garbage, then you're going to be doing that 2 weeks out of 4, because you're going to do the week before, then the week of. So that's 2 weeks out of 4. It's 50% of your time. If you're making excuses to eat trash, you're not going to progress and get to your goals. I know it's hard when you're on your period or you're coming up to your period to kind of stick to your goals. I do know that. But you kind of just have to fight through it. It's just something that we have to deal with. You can't just make excuses or use it as an excuse to make bad decisions. It doesn't really work like that.
When I got home, I just grabbed one of my son's Lunchables because we had to do some shopping.
These are terrible for kids. It's like children don't need ultra-processed nothingness for lunch. Just make them some food. Just how hard is it to make a child a sandwich? And they don't need cookies for lunch either. Don't start children off with a sugar addiction in childhood. They don't need it.
And then after we were done shopping, we did go to McDonald's. I got a double cheeseburger. I took the top bun off. I shared the chicken nuggets with my fiance.
No chips? What's the point of only taking off one half of the burger? One half of the bun? You may as well just eat the whole thing or just not eat it at all. Because it's so silly. You've got a McDonald's burger and McDonald's nuggets, which obviously she shared. So let's say she's got 3 nuggets and a burger. She's going to take the top bun off to be healthy. Why not just have something else? Why eat McDonald's? Just eat something else. Eat some real food. It's really not that hard to cook. It's really not. And if you can't cook, learn.
Shared the chicken nuggets with my
What was the point in going to the gym? Like, truly.
fiance. And then for dinner, you guys will be seeing a lot of this, but it's a sweet potato on the bottom, lean ground taco meat on top with some avocado, some cheese, and then some Herdez guacamole salsa. It's my fave. And then
Not gonna lie, that didn't look good. I'm gonna be honest with her. That dinner did look really, really good. She could have forgone the McDonald's and had the dinner a little bit earlier and get rid of the Pop-Tarts. You don't need those either. Just ultra processed garbage sugar.
of course, for dessert, I ended up having a Pop-Tart. Well, it was actually 2 in 1 pack, and then a
350 calories for a trash dessert. That's not going to be very nice. That's crazy.
glass of Fairlife milk. Finishing the day with around 2,200 calories, and I'll put my macros here for you guys. But I am very proud of myself. So even though I went over my carbs and I ate the Pop-Tart, if I did not eat the Pop-Tart, I know I wouldn't have went over. But that is a bridge that I will cross when I'm ready to not have Pop-Tarts, right? I chose to buy them because I wanted them. And usually I would eat like...
You had Pop-Tarts and McDonald's in one day. What do you want more? Do you want to lose weight and be healthy, or do you want McDonald's and Pop-Tarts more? Because for most normal people, or well, not normal people, but for most people, if you're on a journey of some description, health journey, you can have McDonald's if you like it. You can have Pop-Tarts if you like them. But she can't do it because she is addicted to this trash. She eats them all the time. And she always makes excuses. I had McDonald's and I had Pop-Tarts, and I'm really proud of myself because I don't know, didn't eat the whole burger bun. I only have half of it. Like, get a grip.
3 packs in one night with like 3 glasses of milk, but I was like, let's not do that. You can just eat one and have a glass of milk and move on, and that's what I did. But what I am proud of myself for was hitting a fiber goal of 20 grams, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but during the week I usually get like 25 to 30, sometimes more, just depending on what I eat. But on weekends I barely get any fiber in.
She quite often talks about how she eats badly at the weekends, which is bizarre to me because weekends are no different to the week in terms of food. I just don't really understand that. I mean, I treat them the same personally, but I'm going to look up how much fiber is in an apple out of curiosity. So we've looked up the fiber in an apple. So it's 2.4 grams. So an apple provides about 4 to 5 grams of fiber, mostly in the skin. So it depends on the source that you're getting it from. But if we look up here, so this is just talking about the grams of fiber in different serving sizes. So getting 20 grams really shouldn't be that hard. So you've got 8 grams in raspberries, which is probably where most of hers came from because she had the raspberries in the morning. And then you've got like apples 4.5, oranges, bananas, and strawberries for 3. And then we're moving on to veggies. So you could have some peas, and peas have got loads of fibre in, that's great. Broccoli is also really high. Turnip is a bit of an odd veggie, in my opinion. I don't know why, I think that's a bit odd. Then potato, it's got quite a bit of fibre in there. And if we go down to grains, so this is like pastas and barley and stuff. Barley is quite nice. Brown flakes are also quite nice. Quinoa, delicious. Brown rice as well, that's on there, it's quite a lot. And now we come down to the legumes, which is where the fibre really comes in. Split peas, absolutely delicious. She could have put split peas in that mince that she had for the dinner. It would have shot her fibre way up. Lentils and black beans, chia seeds. Obviously you can't have loads of chia seeds, but you can have some. So she's proud of her fibre. Just eat a normal amount of veggies and it really shouldn't be that difficult to do. She's just so proud of herself for achieving like the bare minimum, and that's why she just won't progress.
at all. And I usually like do notice the effects of not getting the fiber in. So I was like, Christina, you need to get at least 20 grams of fiber in on the weekend. And I did, and it felt really good, and I felt like better the next day. So yes, I ate a Pop-Tart. I'm not mad. I'm proud of myself for hitting my fiber goal.
But she just, she makes excuses for everything she does wrong. Well, not wrong, everything that she could do better. And she's like, yeah, I had a Pop-Tart, it's fine. It's like, yeah, you had a Pop-Tart and you had McDonald's though. So you didn't need either of them. You truly didn't. And I do wonder if she's one of those people that thinks just because she goes to the gym and she can eat whatever she wants. And it does not work like that. It doesn't work like that at all. It just... And she's proud of such minor things. Be proud, not necessarily of like, oh, you met your fibre goal 1 day out of 7. Be proud of yourself if you meet your fibre goal 7 days out of 7. Or if your goal is 25 to 30, that you've made it 27.5 plus. Make your goals actual goals. Don't just make goals to be things that you should easily be able to achieve. It'd be like me setting a goal to walk my dog. I walk my dog all the time, so it's not going to be a goal to achieve that. It's just what you should do anyway. I don't know.
This was everything I ate on Christmas Eve. I did start my morning off at the gym with a cotton candy Alani. I did a 35 to 40 minute workout.
Okay. You don't need an energy drink for a 35 to 40 minute workout. That's ridiculous.
Okay, so workout is done, and we do have a lot to do today, even though it's Christmas Eve. But I am going to have this Pillars drinkable yogurt to tie me over for right now, and then figure out what I'm going to eat before we go shopping. And then we had to go pick up my fiance's mom's birthday cake, and I had an elote and vas.
That's a lot of mayo. I think it's mayonnaise anyway. That's a lot in there. I mean, the corn is fabulous. So her fibre goal should be way up there. But that's a lot of mayo. And for the yogurt drink, there's nothing inherently wrong with that at all. She'd probably be better off with a more natural yogurt, like a kefir or something like that. But so far it's not horrendous. So I did want to get hot Cheetos on it, but I was like, honestly, you don't need the hot Cheetos. So I ate it as is. Honestly, these are so good, and it's such a treat when we're able to get them. Then while we were wrapping up some presents, my fiance had the bow one. I had the Sunday looking one. It is Christmas Eve, so I'll give her a pass. But you don't need a sweet treat in the middle of the day for no reason. I know it's Christmas Eve, so fair enough, but in general, you don't need it. Our cake balls that were made by a local baker. This one was called Buddy the Elf, and that was called Christmas Cheesecake. Honestly, it was so good. I'm glad there was only one of them, or else I would have had more. And then when we got to his mom's house, I had chips and guac and pico. I did end up getting more chips and more pico after this plate, and it was so fresh and delicious. For dinner, it does look quite nice, I'm not gonna lie. It looks really, really tasty. That's a lot of chips though, and she got more, so it's a shame she didn't show us the more that she got. But yeah, it's a lot of chips. But she's not barely eating today anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We had homemade rice and this like rotisserie style. I find it odd that she said homemade rice. What does she mean by like homemade rice? I'm not trying to be snarky. Does she mean just like rice that's not coming in a packet? Because isn't that like the normal way to cook rice? I very, very, very rarely cook rice out of a packet. It takes 20 minutes to cook from like raw rice. You don't have to get it at those like cook in 2-minute things. Is that what she means? I mean, realistically, it doesn't really matter anyway. I just thought that was a bit odd. But the chicken looks delicious. Chicken. I had a chicken leg and then 2 of the chicken thighs and the rice. His mom makes the best rice. I probably had about a cup of rice and then 3 pieces of chicken. When we sang her happy birthday, we did it with a choco flan. So I did have 1 piece of this choco flan. It was so good. Christmas does look quite nice, to be fair. I mean, it's not my bag, but it looks alright. She didn't have a lot of food this day, to be fair. Most of it was at the mother-in-law's house. And it was homemade, which is really good, and probably good for her as well, because she tends to eat out all the time. Yeah, but because she didn't really eat anything really during the day, there was nothing wrong with it, per se. Eve's what I eat in a day video, and I'm really glad that I make these videos, because I haven't logged my food yet. I have to log my food for the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. But I'm able to look back on these videos and see how much I ate and what I did eat, so I can put it in my, my app that I use. The only thing I did not like... The fact that she's saying that she can look back at the pictures and then log it in her app is suggestive of the fact that she's not actually weighing things out. And of course, if you're at your mother-in-law's house, you're probably not going to be weighing out food. That's crazy. But that's probably how she's doing it most of the time. She's cooking something and being like, oh, that's a cup. Oh, that's 50 grams. That's about a serving size, which is why she's not losing weight. As I've said before, she looks the same in every single video.
About the holiday season was it was my time of the month during the season, and
excuse number 3. So we've had the excuses of the period in the first clip, and now we've got excuses of the period in the next clip. See what I mean? She's always got an excuse.
I am just somebody who is very stressed and overwhelmed around this time.
More excuses.
Anyway, and then you add the time of the month on top of that. So like the cravings, the hunger, the emotions were running very haywire. And I'm just so happy and relieved that it's over.
I don't know how old this woman is. I'm going to say 30. Give or take, she looks probably, I don't know, 30, 33, early 30s. She's probably been getting, us ladies get our periods probably latest about 14. So she's probably had her period for 20 years. Still using that as an excuse is not really appropriate, because by the time that you're in your early 30s or 30, you should know how to manage your symptoms or your PMS or whatever it is. We've all got the way our periods affect us differently. We're all affected differently by our periods, but by the time that you've had it for a couple of decades, you should know how to handle it and how to work around cravings and work around like breakouts and stuff. You can't just use it as an excuse forever, because then when you hit menopause, well, that's going to be the next excuse, isn't it? Well, I have to eat Burger King because I'm on my menopause.
Over, but we do have 2 birthdays on Christmas, my brother and my fiance's mom. So not only did we sing happy birthday on these days and I had cake both days, you
can say no, or you can ask for a small slice so you can share it with your baby. Like, there are ways around it.
Are going out tonight for my brother's birthday, and then we're gonna go out tomorrow for my fiance's mom's birthday.
And you can make healthy choices when you go out. You don't have to get the deep fried things, and you don't have to get burgers, and you don't have to get chips, and you don't have to get a massive pile of rice, and you don't have to get fries. There are ways around it.
Just on top of all the celebrations, you have the birthdays and the food, and I'm just doing my best to stay positive, not let the food make me feel any worse for what I'm eating. And
the fact that food has so much control over her, she's definitely addicted. She definitely has a terrible relationship with food, and it seems to consume her life completely, because it seems, just by the way she's speaking, it just sounds like she's thinking about it all the time. Like, her food noise must be incredible. I think she needs to speak to a therapist about it, to be honest, because she's probably not going to be able to manage this on her own, because she's still justifying everything that she does. She's justifying the sweet treat. She's justifying eating like garbage because it's somebody's birthday. She's justifying eating trash because it's her period. We get those, 12, 13 times a year. She needs to speak to a therapist and work out this food noise. Otherwise, she will never get any better.
Just trying to be conscious of what I'm eating, right? So having an extra piece of chicken instead of more rice and chips was way better for me. Not having any soda was good for me too. So small changes. I don't feel bad about what I ate, and I'm just looking forward to getting back on track and back on routine.
She's right that small changes are important. And it is good that she's making the small changes. But to her, I think sometimes like a small change is not having a whole single serving bundt cake, but is actually having a cookie instead. So it's quite tricky with her, because she's just so addicted, and she praises herself for every little thing. It's like praising yourself for putting your socks on, and praise yourself again because you put your shoes on, praise yourself again because you put your coat on. Eventually, praise doesn't mean anything.
Everything I eat in a day as an active plus-size gym girl who's down 44 pounds. I just got to the gym, and I have a new Alani that I've...
Also, I've noticed that she's got the same nails in all of these videos, I think. So these are all going to be roughly the same time period, because she's got these Christmas nails on. I think these ones are pretty new. I think these are from this year. Oh, well, 2025.
Never tried before. This is the cotton candy flavor.
And she looks no different from the previous videos that we've seen.
They sent me their 3 here to stay flavors, and this is one of them. And honestly, you guys, if you like cotton candy, you would definitely like this, because it tastes just like you're drinking a cotton candy.
It tastes just like pure sugar. Perfect first thing in the morning, right before a gym session. Brilliant.
I picked up my mom for nails and shopping, so we stopped at Taco Bell. That's what she wanted to get. I got the new steak fries without the garlic sauce, and I did add chicken to it, and I got a sugar-free Baja Blast.
You didn't get the ranch, whatever she just said, but she got all of the rest of the sauces on it, though. Perfect.
These were just okay. The Frank's Red Hots were much better. And my mom got crunchy tacos with extra ground beef. She ended up having half of one left, and I was still a little bit hungry, so I ended up eating it, and I was actually very full. I haven't gone from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and I had Taco Bell with my mom. I didn't have breakfast, but I ended up not getting any other food throughout the day, so we decided to get Jersey Mike's and
Takeout. And
I decided to get a sandwich. I usually don't get a sandwich, but
God, that's beefy. I'm not gonna lie, that looks quite good. Take out 90% of the mayo that they've put in there, and that looks pretty solid. That is so much meat. That must have been so expensive. But this is the sort of sandwiches that she should be having, where it's just like basically pure protein. This is the sort of thing she should be eating, but only have half of it and have some fruit instead of the other half. You don't need a foot of a sandwich. Just have like one and then have some fruit.
I got a sandwich and I got light mayo.
Oh, it's actually not as big as I thought it was. I thought it was like a Subway sandwich. It's actually much smaller than I thought. That's actually probably fine. She probably won't need anything else added to that. But if she has a sweet treat at the end of the day, that's crazy. If she has a sweet treat, she should have taken that out and then put fruit in place instead.
On the sandwich.
And we'll see if she does have a sweet treat, because I bet she does. I mean, other than the Taco Bell and then more takeout.
I got extra turkey, I have some bacon, I have some provolone, and usually I get a salad to be like low carb and like less calorie, but I have been craving a sandwich.
Just because you're craving something doesn't mean you need to have it.
I ended up wanting something sweet, so I made...
Oh my god. How could I have guessed? How did I know that?
Made a yogurt bowl. I used 1 serving of Chobani, plain non-fat Greek yogurt, a vanilla Super Zero yogurt from Aldi, and then I used half a serving...
Per 1 tablespoon? Per 1 tablespoon is 50 calories. She used half a serving. How did she weigh out half a tablespoon? Did she weigh it out, or did she free pour and just look at it and guess? Because I reckon she just looked at it and guessed.
Of the Hershey's Indulgent Caramel Flavor Syrup. Here's the macros on the back for the syrup, and honestly, you'd be surprised if you weighed out how much you can get. Despite not having...
She didn't show us. I was hoping she was going to show us. Oh yeah, she didn't. Oh, a tablespoon on this is 19 grams. It's actually quite a lot, yes. I'm not surprised she only used half. So hopefully she did actually weigh it out. That would be much, much better for her than like free pouring it, because you could very easily free pour loads of this sort of stuff on there.
You'd be surprised if you weighed out how much you can get. Despite not having anything home cooked yesterday.
This is a different day. Oh, so this must be the day after then, because she's taken her nails off.
I still had about 2,000 calories, and I'll put my macros down below. Fiber, I honestly did not get any fiber in. The food that I ate was not fiberful. So
it was not nutritious at all, except the sandwich. And there should have been some fiber in the sandwich, because there was lettuce in there. I mean, it's not going to have been much, but it would have been some. Maybe that's what she's actually talking about. She didn't get anything of value in there, so she didn't count it. But this is where fruit comes in. Just have some fruit instead of having a sweet treat. Bananas are pretty sweet. Grapes are pretty sweet. Freeze the grapes. That's a nice hack for you. If you're not super fond of if you're somebody that really likes sweet things and snacks, put some grapes in the freezer, because then they are frozen, they're delicious, they are quite sweet, and they take you a long time to eat them. Unless you can crunch through ice. I mean, they don't freeze like solid, but they freeze enough that you can like suck on them for a bit and then eventually bite them and stuff. Really nice. Frozen grapes are top tier. But yeah, maybe don't be so dependent on sweet treats and sugary syrups, and have some real food.
I did notice that the next day, but being able to stay within like the good colors of like what my Coach's app gives me. So if I'm within the yellow, it's good.
Coach's app. She's mentioned this Coach before. I thought she was actually talking to a real human being. What I think she's doing is taking photos of her food and putting it online, and the app is telling her what the macros are. And I hope that isn't what she's doing, because that's nonsense. She needs to be weighing things out and putting them in item by item. I had 7 grams of butter. I had 25 grams of bread. I don't know. Oh, she eats Taco Bell. You can't really track that, can you? So I don't know.
Blue is under and then red is over. And I had none of that. So that was like really good. And then I did want to get a bundt cake or like a crumble cookie, because it is...
How did I know about bundt cakes? It's not like we've seen her eat those before.
Like my time of the month, and I...
Oh, Christ. There it is again, blaming the period. Go. Come now.
I was like looking at the flavors and I'm like, they're not really worth the calories this week. So I had a yogurt bowl instead, and I was really proud of that decision that I made. It's getting easier to say no to things. Like I used to eat crumble every week, but now like if a flavor is not worth it, I'm like, you're not worth the calories. And it is.
Just don't look at them. Just don't go in the shop. Delete all these food apps off your phone. Don't look at them. Tell yourself they're poison, because they are, and move on. Have something else. Just learn to say no. If you're constantly like, oh, is it worth the calories? Because chances are it's not. But that also means when you come to a point where you're like, oh, you know what, I would really like a crumble cookie, you can just go in and get one. You don't have to be like, oh my god, is it worth the calories? Oh, well, I had one last week and I had this last week as well, and I had 14 cakes yesterday. You don't have to go through all of that. Just learn to say no.
Is a really good mindset to have, and it's like very refreshing.
Everything I.
So we've got this woman, and she is another favourite, just because she eats quite egregiously, but she is the one that we caught kind of splicing clips together from different days to make it look more outrageous than it was. And we caught her from her nails, so yeah. And somebody said that she takes these donut clips and then just puts them in, and her kind of her bit or her shtick is having donuts in the morning or the first thing in the video, just filled like clicks and attention, which fair, whatever works, I suppose.
Ate today as a very hungry fat girl. Good morning, we are having breakfast. I have avocado hash browns with hard-boiled egg, cottage cheese, and turkey bacon.
I'm not gonna lie, that's not actually that bad. It's not ideal to have 2 hash browns, I suppose, but if you're having that in place of toast, then I guess it's fine. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. I probably would have had whole grain toast instead, but overall it's not that bad. She's really big, she can eat a lot of food, so yeah, by all means, go ahead.
I have a berry milk. Ooh, that's good. I was craving a little snack.
Is that mozzarella and cheese? Mozzarella and cheese. Is that mozzarella and tomato? Because it looks like it. It's a lot of sauce that she's got on there. I wonder what that is. Some kind of vinaigrette, I would assume. You don't need that much vinaigrette or sauce when you've got mozzarella and tomato. They're very flavourful on their own.
Whoever told you fat girls couldn't cook is lying to you.
I don't think I've heard anybody ever say that fat girls can't cook. I've heard that people say obese people tend not to cook because they go out to have takeout, but I've never said that, and I've never heard people say that fat people can't cook. If anything, I would say that fat people can cook more than anybody else because they're always tasting food. That's why people say that you should never trust a skinny chef. I don't know, she just said that so people comment on it, to be fair, but I've never heard that ever.
Made homemade broccoli and cheddar soup and sourdough.
It's pretty good.
Love to put the veggies on the bread. And if
I wonder how much cheese she put in the soup. It looks quite nice though, I'm not gonna lie. Not my kind of thing. I probably wouldn't have it because cheese soup is crazy, but yeah, it's good that she's cooked it herself.
you don't know me by now, Diet Coke. Found these at the store, so of course I wanted to try them. It's the PB&J Reese's.
Christ.
Super thick, just like me.
For those of you who have tried this, is this not super sickly? I think I've had a Reese's cup once. I think I had it when I was in America, so this was a very long time ago, over a decade ago. And I remember feeling really sick after having a bite of it, and I gave it to somebody else. I didn't like it. But surely this is really sickly and like super sweet. I don't know. That's not my kind. It's not my thing.
Perfect amount of jelly.
Crazy. Do you guys think that was all she ate today? Because she had the hash browns, and then she had berry milk. I assume she means the smoothie. Then she had the mozzarella and tomatoes. Then the soup, and then the Reese's cup. Yeah, I don't think that was all she had. I think she had another meal after that, because you don't get that big having those kinds of meals. And to be fair, it could have been a one-off day, but we will never know, and we just have to take a word for it. So let's do that. But yeah, I think I've been incredibly snarky in this video. I don't intend to be, but it just, I don't know, the first girl frustrates me. But yeah, thank you for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you've made it this far, please let me know down in the comments if you liked it and if you didn't like it, and I hope you come back for the next one. Bye guys.